Dandadan. This is Dandadan, chapter 186, Yukishiro's Power. Last we left off, Ira, Rin, and Yukishiro are all fighting against the most craziest villain group I've ever seen, the headless basketball dribbler guys. And, it's not going great. They're struggling heavily. These things seem to be controlled by the creepiest gym teacher in the world. And it's not going great. Yukishiro reaches out to the pygmies that she used in her previous battle, and she begs them to help her. Meanwhile, we cut back to the fucking gym teacher, who is in a Speedo, just walking around saying, "Okay, for real, for real, her for real, her for real." And he's like, "You gotta work up a sweat, her for real."
Or what's good with this author?
I hate this guy. Oh my god, this shit is crazy. He says he picks up like, I guess, a beer or a soda, and
what goes on in this nigga's head?
I don't know. And he's drinking, and then he has the teacher. Is this the teacher lady that he hit on earlier? He has her.
Yes.
Yeah. He has her in a Playboy bunny suit type of thing in his apartment.
A bunny one piece.
Crazy.
With the thong back.
With the thong back.
And a little puff tail.
Yeah, crazy. And like she's not responding to him, but he's letting the beer dribble out of his mouth as he's drinking it. He's like, "You're in a bad mood. I won't lend you any money if you're like that." And then he just like gets super duper close to her. I hate it. I hate this fucking guy.
Super duper. Super duper.
Yo.
And he says, "It must be hard having to nurse your mother, and it's not going to cost."
No one draws creeps better than
this guy. Loves drawing creeps.
He is the best. I am not envious of the life he lived.
No,
of the life they lived to be able to, create, like, visually create this imagery.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's crazy. And he's like, "Okay, shall we get started then?" And we see that she's carrying a talisman that says, "By divine decree, serve even in death." So I don't know if that's like his thing where he has her under control of some sort. But anyway, we cut back to the gym, thank God. And he's like, she's basically explains that he's not anywhere. Murakami's not anywhere near the school. And Ira's like, "We've been had. Murakami was never in the gym to begin with." And Rin is at her limit. She can't hold on any longer. And Yukishiro is just thinking to herself that she can't do anything and that she's always. Then she turns around because one of the pygmies is pointing behind her. And it seems that the pygmies have pulled out the floorboards of the gym and have built this little piano for her. And she asked them, like, "Oh my god, where'd you get this?" And they're like, "Moo, moo." And
they built it. They built it.
They built a grand.
I didn't even know.
They built a grand piano out of the floorboards, I think, of the gym. And May tells her to play the piano because the pygmies are asking her to use her ability, and she's like, it's the class rep's power. And she's like, "Miss Yukishiro, please and thank you." And then she gives it a try. And, we get a flashback from Yukishiro's perspective where she's been playing piano since she was a young girl. And she has this thing, where like, I think like a lot of musicians probably relate to this, where like she can kind of see the sound when she's playing. I think Pharrell talked about this actually, that he can kind of see colors when he plays certain sounds.
It's called synesthesia.
Yeah, synesthesia, something like that. Where colors emerge from different sounds, with some people can perceive it that way. So yeah, as she got older, she's been learning piano, and she has this seemingly strict piano teacher. Is like, you can't just rely on your perfect pitch. If you don't understand the composer's intent, you can't properly express it. Perform it precisely according to the score. And Yeah, she keeps trying, but she's doing it and she's doing it precisely, but she can't see the sound anymore. And we cut back to the present where she's playing the piano, but nothing seems to be happening. And she's like, she's playing it wrong. Like for some reason that the sound is messed up. And Yukishiro's like, no, I can't play it like this. And she explains that the piano has pure intonation. It was a type used for classical music in medieval Europe. So it's like a very specific and particular piano. And Ira's like, well, you have perfect pitch. You can figure out the notes one step at a time. And she's like, I can't just figure that out right now. And Ira's like, well, you're a prodigy, aren't you? I used to only think about defeating you because when Ira was young, she also played the piano. And when she would go to like little recitals and stuff, she would see that that Yukishiro was at the top because her performances seemed more fun than anyone else's. And she always imagined what it would be like to play like her, And she said after Yukishiro quit the piano, so did Ira. And that she loved the way that she played piano. And Ira pushes herself to remember how that felt and how she used to play. And we get this big 2-page spread where she goes boom, and she starts playing piano. And the sound is just like so completely heart-wrenching. And Ira turns to Rin and asks if it's amping her power, and she's like, I don't know. But May explains that Yukishiro's ability isn't something that amplifies Rin power, and it doesn't control the pygmies either. And then we see that there's these flies circulating about, and we end the chapter with a 2-page spread where there seems to be fucking, I guess, locusts. Is that what this is? Like she's literally summoning like a sign of the apocalypse over. Does she control bugs? Or does she summon locusts with this ability? I don't know. But that is where the chapter ends. Joshua.
What the fuck, bro?
Joshua Cole.
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? I never know what's happening. I never know what's happening in Dandadan ever. I'm up to date. I read it, and I read it recently from chapter 1 all the way to 186. Wow. Damn, it's been out longer than Kagurabachi.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's pretty crazy. But man, we can't. I mean, Iara, what's her name? Ara.
Wait, hold on. Can you say that again? I lost it for a second.
The girl with the hair, that can use her hair with the attacks.
Ira?
The honorable one. What's her name? Ira.
Ira?
Yo, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, she's the main character. That's it. That's it. She's the main character. Let me tell you why. She's done everything. She was like a musician, a idol, right? She did like the idol shit too, like with the class reps past. They knew each other in the past too, I think. She did the most, and she was a little bit manipulative, like when she was in high school. But I can understand why, her being so talented and all the shit she's accomplished got to her head amongst all these other, like, I guess, quote unquote regular, high school students that aren't involved in as much like activities and hobbies. Anyway, she's a motivator, yo. She don't keep her head down too long. Like she take her L's and she keep it pushing. Main character. I said it.
Main character.
Remember, it was me. Remember, I said that first. Anyway, yeah, I thought she controlled the pygmies, but they're just friends with her. Mm-hmm. Why? Does anyone remember?
I mean, she seemed to control them when she was like evil Yukishiro. But they seem to like
maybe
her.
She was just whispering to her. Yeah. Remember, because she got knocked out and they were carrying her?
I don't remember this.
Whatever. I think I don't think she has the ability to control them. Oh, you're right. When she was evil, because she stabbed herself with the ability, right? All right. I understand what you was trying to say before, basically that she actually did have the ability to control the pygmies, because of that vampire dude or whatever giving her an ability. She doesn't have that anymore, but that this whole spiritual situation awakened her latent ability that I guess some people have, and it has something to do with playing the piano and summoning bugs.
Bugs.
I don't like it. What are they gonna do?
I know you don't.
How are they gonna help? We already have small creatures coming.
Mm.
Why does that have to be bugs? You know,
You
I don't
can't
agree
doubt
with
this
that.
guy. Everything makes sense at some point.
The bugs, the holding the bottle sideways, you know, the talisman that says by divine crease serve even in death. Weird vibes. Weird vibes. There's this whole chapter. It was funny though. Anyway, Brian, what were your thoughts?
This was a fucking insane chapter from start to finish. Remember a while back we were giving this guy props for being able to handle rejection well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't age well.
It did not age well at all.
It did not age well. In fact, it aged like way worse than milk. I don't know what ages worse than milk, but it aged like that. The guy turned out to be an immense sicko, ultimate level sicko.
Don't forget the booger.
Yeah.
Oh my
dude.
god. I already told you how
was-
much I hate that.
He was chomping on his own fucking boogers like it's breakfast.
The way he drew the panel too, he's just lurking. I thought he was in the gym watching them doing that, but that was just the introduction to the true introduction.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy I wonder how they're gonna beat him because he's so far away. I think the teacher that he has captive has one of the blades, right? Like one of the power stealing blades.
I think so, right? I do remember that she had like something.
So maybe that's what she's gonna do. She's just gonna fucking yoink his shit.
Mm.
And that would probably explain why she's there. Right?
Yeah. The thing is I'm not. I mean, I'm only guessing that's her because she looked just like.
No, it is her.
but-
It is her, 100%.
I mean, wasn't he saying something about like, oh, your mother is in the hospital?
Yeah,
Like,
he's basically
worth a lot of
being
money?
like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a lot of money, girl.
Yeah, like is that
A
what's
lot of
happening?
money.
But it also seems like there's something else going on with that talisman. I don't think that was just something she was holding. I think it's a freaky spell.
Yeah.
A sick, nasty, freaky spell.
But yeah, those are most of my thoughts. I don't even know what to think about the fucking locusts or flies or whatever they are.
Yeah, some kind of bug.
But yeah,
Negative.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, it was cool to get more depth into Josh's new least favorite character, Yukishiro, with her bug summoning powers. I really love this 2-page spread where she starts to play the piano like all like bam 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 bam.
Yeah, dramatic
bam
as shit.
bam bam bam. So good.
Oh, is that what she was doing?
I feel like that was the vibe that they're trying to capture, where she just like suddenly played like something really dark and heavy. Maybe she summons different things based on the music that she plays on the piano, and maybe that's why.
Man.
Maybe that's why it's flies this time around, because it's like just.
Are
such
these
a-
bugs going to be dribbling?
Oh my god! Imagine.
The bugs show up, they start playing basketball.
Yeah, basketball playing flies.
That would be They form bodies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they go.
They run a 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be epic.
So good.
You already know the spirit has to run point for sure.
For sure. I mean, we already knew the pygmies can ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them. We saw them balling out last chapter, right?
So why not fly?
Oh, that was the pygmies. That
Yeah,
wasn't
they
her.
formed like a body around May, and they just like crossed over.
Oh, nah.
Pygmies are
So
frequent
pygmies-
Rucker Park
Yeah.
enjoyers. They show up to Rucker Park every weekend.
Yeah, the pygmies got to count. They should actually be the whole starting 5. We don't need the bugs. We don't need them.
They clearly need them. They're summoning them. So
I don't understand you.
I feel like what they're gonna do is that they're going to
Yukinobu.
they're gonna use the bugs. Like somehow the bugs are gonna tell them where the gym teacher is, because they're all over the city. And then they're gonna probably send like Ira or something to just like dash after him real fast. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
We haven't seen Okaroon and other guy in a while, Ginto, right?
That's because they're dead.
Never stop fucking with me, all right? They will never kill my goat Kinta.
Pack.
No pack. But yeah, I mean, the one thing I was like kind of raising my eyebrow of is like Ira being there for Yukishiro's flashback. I don't remember that ever being like hinted at all or anything. I'm just like, she was there too. She is kind of perfect, huh? I thought it was touching in a sense, but there was like a part of me that was like, well, when did that happen? It felt like they didn't really know each other. But all right.
This the vampire guys pulling the strings. He's got plans and schemes.
Yeah.
You had plans. You were a schemer.
Oh, that's
The Joker.
Yeah, I was just remembering. It's, like, it's always about
one
the
of the-
money.
That's one of the best scenes ever to me, and not because he had a point or anything like that, because the acting was so incredible.
Yeah, once in a generational acting guy.
He manipulated this shit out of the attic. You sure? And that's how my face will get better? No.
No.
Anyway,
But that's all I really had to say about Dandadan. I thought it was a fun chapter. I'm excited to see how the flies play into this. But yeah, that's all I really got. Any rebuttals or anything?
hopefully they don't.
Yeah, hopefully they just go away.
Hopefully the bugs were just aesthetic.
Yeah, hopefully they just like pop up and then they never address them again.
Yeah.
They just come out of nowhere and they disappear and nobody talks about the fact that there were a billion bugs everywhere.
That would be preferable.